No. No, I am not going to open this video about how I'm a millennial. I've done that already. I've already made being a millennial my digital footprint and my whole online personality. I need to be known for other things too. Well, who the fuck cares? What's one more mention gonna hurt? I'm a millennial. It's not a slur. Who does one more mention hurt? Probably you if you're not a millennial and you just come here to make fun of me and my generation. Well, guess the fuck what? Being a millennial is some cool ass shit. So suck my. Hey, what's up? Welcome, one and all, new and returning. I apologize for that micro outburst if you came here with good intentions and you're on a quest to relate. You came here for a tier list, and a tier list you shall get. I don't know your life or your personal philosophies that keep you optimistic about the future, but for me personally, it's the wishful thinking that the cornerstones of pop culture and trendy fads of the 90s and 2000s that made my early life like a shade or two brighter will make comebacks in everyday culture at some point. Like blockbuster runs that made me feel like I had something to look forward to on a Friday night. Or a handheld primary battery operated CD player that kept me occupied for hours on awfully long lengthy road trips to my grandparents' house in Memphis. But I don't think everything from this time period needs a resurgence, and to be quite frank, some things about this time period are just not worth revisiting again. And I feel confident to label as cringe. Like body glitter and Hollister and Abercrombie logo apparel can stay fucked and gone. I thought it would be something to do a tier list of so millennial things, ranking them in order of how much deserving they are of a comeback versus needing to stay in the historical museum of cringe in the what the fuck was that exhibit. I got a list here of all things or behaviors that could be deemed as part of millennial culture or people would refer to as growing up millennial, using the following categories. News about a comeback better show up on my For You page tomorrow, like the most deserving of a comeback. And then there's, oh, wouldn't that be neat to see that shit again? Only done right could this be okay? 2, would need a dash of modernization to be a moment. And the last one, please stay dead and the fuck up out my face. Now, with nothing further to add, let's just get it popping up in this shit and start ranking all things growing up millennial. Now let's start with the technology/internet category. AIM messaging. This shit was convenient as fuck back in the day when we used flip phones. Texting on flip phones was annoying as shit because when you'd be texting your bestie for long periods of time, you'd get so annoyed by the constant sound of pressing the buttons, the keyboard buttons, and when you made a lengthy text mistake, you couldn't just simply highlight the whole word or sentence and delete it. You'd have to press the backspace button as many times as you needed to fix your misspelling of a word or take back something you shouldn't say over text to somebody, and it's better to keep your big sassy mouth shut. Normal back then, but today inconvenient as fuck. So AIM messaging back then in comparison was a much faster and much more spaciously open way to communicate via text. So if AIM messaging did make a guest appearance back into online communication, it'd have to have a very specific perk or dazzling feature that phone texting doesn't offer currently. I don't know what that is yet, because everyone's definition of what a perk is and what is considered to be dazzling is subjective. But what I do know right now, what I do know at this very millisecond is that AIM messaging is going to go with only if done right could this be okay. Flash and CD-ROM games. One of the best parts of my childhood and the early internet. I could spend hours and hours on it playing these things. Like I seriously think I got in trouble at school one time for playing around on FunBrain while I was supposed to be working on a class assignment. Don't remember the exact details, because I got in trouble easily at school for my nonconformist temperament. I was a John Bender spirit with a weird culmination of an emo, glam, biker chick aesthetic. I mean, I still am, just more updated, with more of a willingness to embrace my lighter femininity. Once in a while, I'll wear floral dresses like the one you see before you. This is not an invitation to anything, by the way. Basically, I'm trying to be Persephone up in this shit. Anyway, enough about me and my cringe youth and my personal aesthetic values. In the present day, I've been trying to look for Flash games online that either still exist or don't take 83 and a half years for the page to load. I mean, the lack of Flash games in my life is not causing detriment to my livelihood, seeing as though we have gaming apps on our phones now. But I do miss CD-ROM games, and I feel there's a gaping gaping hole in my heart at times when I remember how much fun I had playing them. So I'll put Flash games, it's going with, oh, wouldn't it be nice to see that shit again. And CD-ROM games, news about its comeback better show up on my For You page tomorrow. Burning CDs and making CD mixes. Now, I was too young and or too untech savvy to do the actual burning and mixing of the non-traditionally packaged CDs I had. My method was I'd hear a song or a few songs off an artist's album that I liked. Your girl is a sweaty Betty. Hear a song or a few songs off an album that I liked. Ask my dance teacher, friend, good lord, get your Tennessee twang together, girl. I'd ask my dance teacher, friend, or whoever else had the whole actual album if I could borrow the CD to listen to for a while. And I'd ask my dad to burn the songs I wanted onto a CD. I must have been a really cute kid, cause I too am surprised my dance teachers let me borrow their professional property. I think burning CDs and making mixes were a good way to save money on buying full music albums when you only liked a select few songs or just one song. I think in present day, they would only really serve a purely memento purpose. Cause now we have free lyric videos on YouTube if we want to listen to only specific songs off your favorite music artist's latest album released for free. So I'm gonna put it with needs a dash of modernization, but collectible wise, they are a moment, don't get me wrong. They're just kind of useless now as a convenient form of enjoying music. Next up is taking pictures of everything and plastering them all over your socials. Depends on what it is. It's like if you're taking pictures of your food or your luxurious vacation, shove it up your ass.
Shove it up your ass, Margaret.
But if it's like just nice little moments that capture your everyday life, like a funny billboard you came across in your commute to work, or a cute little bunny sculpture you found while out thrift shopping, that can stay. That's wholesome and it makes my day when I see it amongst the trash fire, overly curated garbage most social media app algorithms plaster all over our feeds. That goes without saying, I miss people posting about their actual lives and thoughts on social media, even if it didn't get a lot of likes or comments or whatever the fuck. This millennial coded social media behavior is going with only if done right could this be okay. So let's go to fashion and beauty. One of the biggest things non-millennials love to give mouth about, but I might even agree on some of the anti-cool opinions. Nothing like prepping with a good belt. Layering tank tops under everything. I don't mean like tank tops under cardigans and shit. I mean tank tops under everything. I definitely think it's kind of unnecessary to have a tank top underneath everything. Unless everything you own is white and you need coverage with a flesh-colored camisole, that's the exception. But a spaghetti strap purple tank top underneath a white ribbed tank top? What the fuck is wrong with you? If we're talking about situations like that, then that shit can stay dead forever. What the fuck do you mean I gotta buy another tank top to go under another tank top? Just so I can look cool. Fuck out of here. Making me spend more money? Chunky belts. Honestly, they had their moment as a fashion statement, but they were just not practical. Because whenever you sat down, they'd hug your waist a bit too tight, with your belly rolls pushing up against the big metal hook or oversized bedazzles, causing pain, and you have to sit there and look like that meme of the puffed up seal with the hands, trying to contain how uncomfortable you are. They really only looked great when you were standing up and you were wearing a short-length, slim-fitting graphic tee. So I think that shit can stay dead. Zed. Now you already know how I feel about the Hollister and Abercrombie logoed fuckeries. Like, yeah, we know your daddy is rich and that you can afford to shop high-end, you asswipe. You and your puka shell necklace can fuck the fuck right off. Yes, I know I'm unfairly profiling and pettily projecting, but you would be lying to me if you said you didn't know at least one person who walked around decked out in Hollister or Abercrombie logoed apparel, who was a total douche canoe or spoiled little princess. So die Hollister and Abercrombie apparel and apologize for breeding a generation of wine culture moms and podcast bros. Next, there's the Live Strong bracelets everybody was wearing in 2003. I had so many of these in various colors other than yellow. I mean, I can see why they could be timeless because they were made for a charitable cause. It's definitely a fitting fashion statement for the gym, running a marathon, or any other situation, Jesus God, that relates to advocating for health and wellness. But I wouldn't be bothered or annoyed if they became mainstream fashion statements again. So I'll put it with, oh, it'd be nice to see that shit again. Mini backpacks and short shoulder purses can go away. Like, go sit down. Like, really, flee from me. Those don't hold anything. Hey, look how big my handbag is. It is almost filled to the brim with things I need for when I go out in public. And no, I'm not doing a what's in my bag, you nosy Nelly. At least not for this video, or one with any ounce of seriousness showcasing. I highly believe I'm not alone in that sentiment. And other women out there feel the same way about needing to bring more stuff out in public than a tiny backpack or tiny shoulder purse the size of a diaper can hold. So shit's going with please stay dead. You serve no purpose in a woman's life, you fanny pack wannabes. I feel the exact same way about Ugg boots with shorts, at least as a fashion choice for me. Now listen to me. I am a strong advocate for wear whatever makes you feel comfortable, confident, and expresses your individual oh so special style. And if you'd like to wear Ugg boots with shorts, I love that. For you. And I support you in your decision to do so. But for me, my body type and skin tone, what an ensemble nightmare. The thought of me, a 32-year-old, almost 33-year-old woman putting on Uggs and shorts and looking in the mirror is the opposite of Lizzie McGuire. What nightmares are made of.
I'm frightened, Annie. I'm frightened.
So I'm just putting it with please stay dead and stay the fuck about my face. Now side bangs, like those big chunky side bangs. I used to have them and they were very annoying to style. They would get greasy, stringy, and would look very much not like a moment after a sweltering hot day outside. I would like to see them have a resurgence into mainstream fashion trends today, even if I don't get some for myself again. If I do get them, they'd probably be one of those clip-on hair pieces. Maybe I'll impulse purchase a pair during my next Dark Night of the Soul. We'll see what happens. You never know what could happen during one of those. So I'm gonna put it with, it'd be nice to see that shit again. Crimped hair, like I need that. I already have naturally curly hair. No, but seriously, I know all the girlies back in the early 2000s were buying hair crimpers and wanting to get them microwaves. Not the microwaves like the cooking appliance. Mini waves, there we go. Wanting to get them mini waves because they wanted to look wild and free. But dearie do, you can be wild and free without crimps. I do think that crimped hair did look really cool, and it is deserving of a guest appearance back on red carpets, runways, or wherever the hell else society gets its fashion influences from. So it's gonna go with, oh, it'd be nice to see that shit again. Body glitter. Like I said before, it can stay corpseified. That's a word I made up just now as a way to describe something as Zed, like body glitter should be. It doesn't matter whether you lay soaking in a bath for hours and hours on end, or take a shower as hot as the deepest fiery pits of hell. Body glitter never comes off. I mean, like, factually it will come off because skin sheds and renews. But I don't want to get in bed covered in glitter. Yeah, glitter looks pretty, and it looks nice when you want to have a diva moment. But what about moments where I want to be in gremlin mode and I'm not trying to impress anyone? A girl's got layers. Sometimes she wants to be a sparkly, glowy showstopper, and other times she wants to be a bed-rotting Jabba the Hutt. I can't be off with glitter sticking to my skin and getting all over my furniture and other places it don't need to be rubbing off on. And the roll sticks were rough as hell. My neurodivergence gives me sensory issues. So stay in your grave, body glitter. Don't nobody want you back. Dream Matte Mousse foundations that matched no one. This is the product that had everyone walking around back in the day with a tan AF face, while the rest of their body was such a distinct ivory color. That bitch never blended on any Caucasian skin girls. Nikki Tutorials did a video several years ago doing that how I did my makeup in high school challenge, and this was the foundation that she used when she was a teenager. It made me feel so seen and understood to know that this was a universal experience for those of us who use the Dream Matte Mousse in our early makeup journeys. So the Dream Matte Mousse can stay just that. A dream. Stay dead forever. Overplucked eyebrows. Okay. Not news, but this may be an unpopular opinion. I think thin eyebrows can be a look as long as it's done right. I personally never understood the hate for thinner eyebrows. I mean, as long as there's no patchy gaps, overplucked eyebrows are a very niche fashion statement. So I'll put it with only if done right would it be okay. And do not come for my frosted lipstick now. Leave me and my frosted lipstick alone. I still wear a frosted lip sometimes to this day. He's pretty! I don't see the cringe or the need for them to stay dead. So it's going on my news about its comeback better show up on my For You page tomorrow. Dark black raccoon eyeliner. Look at these pictures.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because
What do
they
you think I'm gonna say? I don't think big dark raccoon style makeup should be brought back because that shit, it's gonna smear and irritate your eyes. And that's definitely no good for your skin or your eye health. Or even your furniture if you lay down a lot. So I'll put it with stay dead and stay the fuck about my face. Like factually and metaphorically. Next, sun in hair lightener. Now, I get trying to save a dime or two on the salon, but let me put something into perspective for you. If you ruin your hair via DIY methods and an amateur experience, you're gonna spend more money trying to get your hair fixed at a salon than just actually going into a salon to let a professional hairdresser do the whole thing for you in the first place. And I've never trusted this shit to give good highlights or brighten the hair, much less the ingredients that are probably in it. So that shit can stay dead and not be brought back into popularity. Now let's rank traditional media culture. Tabloid magazines. I mean, who really needs them now that we have like social media and shit? But I'm an advocate in reading stuff with our hands again. So my brain is making somersaults about how to rank this. It really has to offer something that a social media app can't if it were to be back into everyday media consumption. So I'll put it with, it has to be done right to be a moment. Saturday morning cartoons, oh fuck yeah, bring those back. My parents didn't get us cable until me, the youngest, reached the double-digit age bracket. So TV syndications like One Saturday Morning / ABC Kids had the shows that defined my childhood, besides PBS. And if they actually brought it back, maybe I would actually learn how to use the inputs on my Roku to switch with ease back and forth from TV to the Roku. I don't care if I'm a grown-ass adult, nothing could come between me and my Saturday morning cartoons and my nostalgia-thirsty ass. So it's going with news about its comeback better show up on my For You page tomorrow. MTV playing actual music videos like it was made for. Shit, yeah. I think it's a unanimous opinion that everyone can agree on that MTV should move all their reality shows to another channel and bring back them music videos. I also miss the hype around music videos in general. No one watches them on YouTube for the viewing experience. They just want to listen to the song. I unfortunately myself am in that category. I wish I wasn't, but also too, I think it's because most music videos these days just don't have a strong storytelling element or captivating visuals. Like there has to be a reason people want to watch a music video other than the listening experience of the song itself. I think that's why Michael Jackson's music videos are so legendary. He actually put an effort to have a plot line, dialogue, and compelling characters that kind of became like short films in a way. The only good music video I've seen lately is Taylor Swift's All Too Well music video with Sadie Sink and Dylan O'Brien, because it encapsulates everything a music video should be, and the reason behind making one other than just giving sultry looks to the camera and lip syncing to the song, like most music videos tend to be. Sorry for that sideline rant about music videos, but seeing as though most music videos kind of are pointless to begin with, if music videos came back to MTV, record labels, managers, producers, or whoever the hell else is making decisions about music videos being made, needs to put better effort into making music videos people come to for a viewing experience and listening experience. So we'll put it with, it has to be done right. Video rental stores, bring that shit back up. Blockbuster and Hollywood Video are what's missing in my life. I so badly want to go to that last Blockbuster in Bend, Oregon that operates as a tourist attraction now. I mean, just look at the interiors of these places. How does that not fill up the heart of your excited inner child? The weekend comes, you've been overwhelmed with demands of school and extracurricular activities, and a trip to a video rental store is the signal to your brain to let loose. And remember what's important in life. The movies and fictional characters that don't know you exist or can't react to you allows you to escape reality until Monday comes back around again. Anyway, that's probably something I need to talk to my therapist about. But obviously this is going in the top category with the news about its comeback better be on my For You page tomorrow. I really do better be seeing something on my For You page of a beloved video rental store, because I'd actually leave my house to go to it. Now let's talk about social life and the like. Mall hangs. Those are different from going to the mall and window shopping. Mall hangs were like one of the main things millennials did with their friends on the weekends and was punishment if they were grounded from going by their parents, and it was the end of the world. I mean, malls still do exist and people still go to them, but today they're not the go-to hangout spots that it was for people who were going through their formative years in the 90s and 2000s. Like, I used to spend hours at the mall with my friends trying on all the clothes in the department store stores, going to the food court, and in messing around with vibrating chairs in the middle aisles. At one point, my local mall even had a pet store and had the cutest little bunny rabbits. And if you wanted to play with one of the dogs or cats they had, they bring you into a room where they brought the cat or dog to you and let you play with him or her for a bit. But honestly, with how disconnected we've become with people, it would do humanity a good thing to bring back malls as being a place where people just went to have a day adventure for a few hours. It sure is a hell of a lot better than a day adventure outside in an urbanized area with all the traffic, air pollution, and all the rushed, impatient motherfuckers pushing past you in the street. I'd truthfully be glad to see mall hangs become a pinnacle form of socialization again, so I'm putting it with news about its comeback better show up on my For You page tomorrow. And next is having landlines. Life hack. If your parents still have their landline and you don't want to give someone your number, give out the landline number. That way you'll never have to hear from whoever it is you don't want to hear from. Like mine still has their landline, and whenever I don't want to give my number for some form I'm filling out online, I just use the home phone number from my childhood. The landline isn't active, so whoever is on the receiving end just gets the "this number is not in service" voice message. It's deliciously evil. But other than that, landlines don't really serve a purpose anymore. But like with many of the things we discussed so far, there would have to be an irresistibly cool new feature to landlines that smartphones can't offer. So I'll put it with, it needs to have some modernization in order to be a moment category. Paperback physical scholastic book catalog. Y'all know the ones I'm talking about. The ones that look like a cross between a newspaper and a magazine with that nice freshly printed paper smell. I feel so bad for school-age children today not being able to experience that. Being able to flip through pages that lists the books that will be sold at the school book fair is a much more positive sensory experience than just doing it on a tablet, computer, or phone. I don't know, maybe that's just my age showing, but I'm gonna put that with news about its comeback better show up on my For You page tomorrow. Now, last category is toys and collectibles. The obvious most popular first one we gotta discuss are the ever so famous Beanie Babies. Hi Key! Hi Key! Hi Key! I wanna start collecting Beanie Babies again. I mean, I know they don't really serve a purpose, but look at them. They're cute, and they got little names and their own backstories. Did they have their own backstories, or did I give mine backstories? I don't know. Maybe I need to undergo hypnosis and see if I can retrieve that information from my unconscious. Or easier, I could just Google it. But hypnosis just sounds like a cooler solution. But I'm all for bringing back Beanie Babies. They would go so well on my bed back there. So yeah, I better see something on my For You page tomorrow about how they've made a resurgence back into pop culture. Thank you. Oh, so very much. Furbies. We all know I'm a freak in nature, but my freak points are about to shoot way up when I tell you I did not find Furbies creepy. I mean, as a kid. Today I find them creepy. They're worse than Labubu's. My older sister had a Furby and she'd let me play with it from time to time, and I had a blast from what very little I remember about playing with it. But I really think Furbies are one of those toys that needs to stay in the past. So let's put it with please stay dead and stay the fuck about my face. I'm begging you, you little animatronic whiny ass gremlin. Okay, next are Polly Pocket and Bratz dolls. I was really into Polly Pocket and had so many collections and even used to chew on their rubber clothing. I was 8. I was 8 and a very anxious child who didn't know how to cope. Anyhow, Bratz dolls, I had one, and her name was Chloe, just like my dearly departed kitty. But no, really though, I think it'd be cool to see a comeback of people collecting these again. I know that today people are collecting Monster High dolls, so I don't know how well sales would do with Polly Pockets and Bratz dolls if they came back into the spotlight. So I'll put them with, oh, I'd like to see that shit again. Bop It. Oh my god, the adrenaline rush these things caused, making sure that you bopped, twisted, and cranked on time that you for some reason enjoyed and wanted to do again round after round. It really did encourage me to think fast and develop my listening skills. It could still be a fun gadget toy to play with today for kids and adults, so I'm putting it with news about its comeback better be on my For You page tomorrow. Now Skip It's a safety hazard. I don't know how I managed to hop around on one of these things without tripping and falling. I know today I definitely stumble and falter to the ground. I'm too lazy to jump. I don't want to jump. I don't. So that's just going with please stay dead and stay the fuck about my face. Now hit clips. I myself never had one of these, but some of my classmates in elementary school did. But like the burned CDs and CD mixes, I feel like they'd be pretty useless today and only serve as a collector's item for a blast of the past display in one's home. So I'll put it with it needs to be modernized in order for it to be a moment. Yeah, of course we gotta talk about Pokemon cards. Retrospectively, why? What purpose did they serve? I had a few myself, and really the only card I wanted was the Pikachu one. He was the one I saw the most. I only watched the afternoon cartoon show Pokemon and WB. I never got into the games and shit, but I'm not against them making a resurgence in pop culture if they wanted to. So I'll put it with only if it's done right. Well, this video really had some moments, didn't it? Switching back and forth between romanticizing the past to micro trauma dumping. Hey, that's what it's like hanging out with me. But it's time for me to digitally peace out and say to you, thank you for watching. I think at some point I'm gonna do a Mary-Kate and Ashley movie tier list video, and let me know you support my decision to do so by pressing the thumbs up button. Drop a comment if you're feeling the feminine urge to talk your favorite millennial thing or millennial things growing up in the 90s and 2000s. And if you and I are vibing, then become a part of the channel's emotional support coven by clicking the subscribe button. It's not hard, like trying to keep up with a bop it or jump with a skip it for longer than 10 seconds. You just gotta scroll down wherever it says subscribe and make contact with your finger or mouse, like this. Ding! And then if you want to be considered as a possible candidate for the Coven's future Supreme, then turn on all the channel notifications so you have a higher possibility of owning the first flex with each new upload. Stay cool, stay fresh, and I'll see you next time.